see my highlight?
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, hold tight.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about the makeup look that I'm wearing right now. So today I wanted to bring you guys this summer bronzy glowy makeup look, and I've been wanting to film this all summer long and I just haven't had time, but I finally got it in. And I know that summer is almost over, but we have a little bit of time left where you could take advantage of a look like this one. I was really inspired by the lip gloss that I'm wearing as well as the eyeshadow, and a lot of these colors just work well together. They're very complementary, almost monochromatic, but they're all giving me that bronzy summer glow, and I just really like that type of look during the summer. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me for today's video, and if you are new to my channel, please make sure that you click that subscribe button. That way you won't miss any of my uploads, and also make sure that you turn on the notification bell so you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I use a lot of products in today's look that you guys have not seen me use before, or it's been a long time. I really had a lot of fun coming up with the look today. So I hope that you guys are going to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's video.
To start off the look, I'm going to use this MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. This just preps the skin for foundation. It's very refreshing, and it helps to provide the right amount of hydration. And then I'm going to use GLAMGLOW. This is a illuminating moisturizer. Oops. And I usually apply my moisturizer first, but I forgot, so I did it in the reverse order. And I also forgot my primer, even though it was sitting right in front of me. So we're going to move on to foundation. So today for foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Pro Glow. And this is a 24-hour foundation. It is a drugstore foundation. Very affordable, but so good. And I also forgot, I was just out of sorts, guys, but I forgot to mix in my dewdrop. So I'm trying something new here, and I am applying it directly to the skin, and it actually worked out pretty well, and I'm just blending it on my skin. I won't say try this at home, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. So you should be able to tell that because I'm trying to really get that luminous summer glow, I've applied a lot of illuminating glowy products. Like the foundation adds a glow without being too dewy. It's just perfectly luminous. And I'm also going back in with a little bit more foundation to give me some additional coverage. So I don't use this all that often, but I wanted to do some color correction today, so I'm using this color correction product by MAC Cosmetics, and it is pretty good, and it will help eliminate some dark circles before I go in with concealer. And you're also going to notice that I kind of switch between my beauty blender and brushes throughout this tutorial, because I think the luminous skin was making it difficult for the beauty blender to blend. So I used a brush to complete that blending. And now I'm going in with this concealer by Fiona Styles, and this is not a product that you've seen me use here. I'm actually using it, or I purchased it because I found it on sale for like $6 at Ulta, and it's usually $24. And I think that it was a closeout product, and they may still have some for sale on their website. You may want to check that out. And so I'm going in to brighten with this Mineralized concealer by MAC Cosmetics. And same thing, having to switch from the beauty blender to a brush. Oh, and let me say, the Fiona Styles concealer, I applied it with my fingertips because it just seems to blend really well when you put on concealer sometimes with your fingertips. And it is a really good concealer, and so is this one by MAC. Now I'm going to go on to cream contour. Again, something new that you haven't seen me do on my channel all that often, and I'm using this foundation stick by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it has given me the perfect cream contour. I'll link the information down below so that you can find out the shade that I'm using. And I had to experiment with how to apply it with this brush, so I am blending it with the brush, and then I found that if I flick the brush upward, that I really liked the result when I was blending in this cream contour. So it turned out so good. I really like it. Now the brush that I'm using is a natural hair fiber brush. so it's probably not the best one for applying creams, but it is the contour brush that I like right now. So I will try out some of my other brushes and possibly look to purchase a synthetic brush that will work well with the creams, but for today's tutorial this worked out pretty good. So to blend out the contour on my nose, I'm just using this smaller brush. I believe this is an Eco Tools brush, and then I'm going back in with my beauty blender. So to set the look today, I am using Laura Mercier translucent powder, and for some reason it just always seems like I come back to her. I try other things and I like other things, but I always come back to her. So as I mentioned before, I'm switching back and forth between the beauty blender and this Real Techniques brush. The brush just seems to be easier with all of the luminous moisture that I've got going on for today's tutorial. And I also forgot about this little spot here that I contoured, so I'm going right on over that right about now. Using this same brush that I used to contour, I'm just stamping on a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent powder to just give a little bit more definition. And now I'm going to complete my brows and define them using this Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil. So a lot of times I speed through this part or skip it, but I just figured today I'd leave a lot of my brow routine in for anyone who is new to my channel or a new subscriber. You guys can see what I typically do to define my brows. I've been loving this fan brush by Sephora for dusting off the translucent powder, and I like to remove the translucent powder before I apply my brow gel. Here I'm just applying just a little bit more translucent powder just to make sure I'm not too glowy. And now I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel. And again, I'm using another brush just to add a little bit more translucent powder to define that contour. Today I'm going to use this NARS eyeshadow primer to prep my eyelids for eyeshadow. After blending it in with my finger, I'm going to use a fluffy eyeshadow brush just to set it all in place using some translucent powder. So I'm using this Masquerade mini palette. I put it aside and now I've pulled it back out, and I love this palette, guys. I'm using the shade Burkina, and I'm using this synthetic fluffy brush to blend it into my crease as well as kind of in the transition area. And then I'm going to go back over it with this clean blending brush. This is a natural fiber brush, and I'm just blending everything out. Next I'm taking the shade Fusion, I think is how you say it. I'm using a smaller blending brush to blend that into the lower V. I'm concentrating it there. It's a little bit darker shade, and then I'm going to drag a little bit over into my crease, and again going back in with that same fluffy clean blending brush to blend everything out. Now I'm going to apply this shadow called Casablanca. This looks gold in the pan, but it is a copper color. It looks like a penny, a nice shiny penny, and it is beautiful. I'm applying it in my outer V. I love this shadow. And then I'm going to apply this other shadow called Dahlia, I believe is how you say it, and it is more golden and kind of champagne gold. I'm blending them in with my matte with this blending brush just to eliminate any harsh lines. And then I'm going to smudge some shadows underneath my lash line. The first one is Burkina again, and then I'm also going to put Casablanca underneath my lash line. And I don't typically put shimmers there, but I really wanted this bronzy look, and it turned out perfect. Just love it, guys, love it. Now I'm going to apply my wing liner, and I'm going to use Maybelline gel liner this time, and I'm using my Sigma EO6 brush, and I also mixed in some of my ink blot Duraline just to loosen up that gel. And this liner is one that Jaclyn Hill swears by. It is a good liner, but it is not my favorite gel liner. But if you're looking for a drugstore option, this one is a good option. And I also would recommend the one that they have by L'Oreal. I believe it's the Infallible. Both of them are good drugstore options. So now I'm going to apply lashes. These are my Lily Lashes Style Miami, my favorite lashes of all time. And I applied them off camera. And now I am cleaning up my line for my wing liner using this Art Liner Liner Pen by Lancome. For mascara today, I'm using the Maybelline Lash Sensational. And I do like this mascara, but I remembered after I started using it that I don't like using it with falsies because the wand is so stiff. It kind of kept poking me in the eye, so I wouldn't recommend it for that purpose, but great for your own lashes. And then I'm going to complete my lower lashes with the Extended Play Giga Lash by MAC. So for my waterline, I'm doing something different. I'm going back to this Marc Jacobs pencil, and it is in a pink shade. I'll link it down below. I can't remember the name of it. For inner tear duct highlight, I'm going back into the palette using this shade Giza, and then I'm dusting off any fallout that I may have had, and I'm touching up my waterline. And then I'm moving on to bronzer. This is the Becca Sunlit Bronzer Collection in the shade Panama Sun, one of my favorite bronzers. I love this. And I'm blending everything out using my IT Cosmetics foundation brush just to remove any harsh lines that I may have. For blush today, I'm using this Sephora blush palette, and it has blushes and shades that can double as highlighters and just kind of shimmery bronzers. Just a really good blush palette. And then I'm also kind of carving out that contour area once again using translucent powder and just dusting everything off, touching up my under eye area just to make sure that I have removed any fallout and just making it look its best. And to add to my glow and give me that all over glow, I'm using my Lancome Absolute Powder. You guys know I love this product. After it sets into the skin, it just gives you this beautiful glow, and I can always tell on camera when I've used it. So I'm doing the most by adding the Lucy Star Powder by Gerard Cosmetics. It just adds a blushy glow, and I love that. And I'm adding in liquid highlight this time with the Cover FX Enhancer drops in the shade Candlelight, and I'm blending it in with this brush because that seemed easier to use with this liquid highlight, and it's really going to give me this poppin' bronzy highlight. And I'm going to then add on a powder highlight after blending that out. I'm going to use this one by Milani, and that is the shade number 2, one of my favorites. It reminds me a lot of Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop, because I really want that highlight popping. To help everything just melt into the skin, I'm going back over all of my highlighter areas with this beauty blender. I'm trying out a couple of lip products, and my first one is by Gerard Cosmetics. Now you're going to find out why I'm making that face in just a second. My lip gloss broke, but I can't blame Gerard Cosmetics because I have had this one for a while. It is one of my favorite shades. It is the shade Crystal, and it is option number 1. So I'm going to remove that one and try something else. This is the Cork Lip Liner by MAC, and then I'm going to apply this pink shade by LA Girl. It is a matte lipstick, and it's actually pinker than it was prior to filming. It looks pinker on my lips, and this one is in the shade Hush. I love the shade. I topped it with Sugar Sugar by Marc Jacobs, but in the end, for this particular look, I decided to go back to option number 1 because it really gave me the look that I was trying to achieve. So after applying my crystal, I'm touching up my highlighter, and I'm ready to set using this setting spray by Physicians Formula, and this completes the look. So I hope that you all have enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and also leave me any comments as well as subscribe to my channel, and I'll be seeing you guys again very soon. So until the next time we meet again, this is Savvy signing out.